Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to look at some examples of regular expressions. Here, let me start off with the alphabet for which I'm going to generate regular expressions. So it is the binary alphabet, so it contains of the two symbols 0 and 1. So we are going to see how we can write regular expressions, okay, for the languages which we are going to describe. So let's say we are going to write, the first one that we will do here is we will generate the language where all strings of that language starts from say 0. So some examples, all strings starts from 0, so I can have 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1. I can have something like this. So all strings must start with a 0. So 1 0 1 0 1, this string will not be a part of this language. So we want all strings that starts from 0. So let us write this, the regular expression from it. So that means now if you see, we must have the starting should be 0. So I will put a 0. So 0 is the regular expression for 0. Okay. Then this is to be followed by anything 0 or 1. So I can have a 0, like here you can see I may have a 0 here in this, or another valid string would be 0 1. Okay, so after this first 0 I can have either a 0 or a 1. Alright. Then after this also I can have either a 0 or a 1. I can have either a 0 or a 1. It can go on like this. Okay. But then how many times? It can be, I can repeat this as many times as I want, or I may choose not to repeat this at all. That means, say for this particular string 0, here I am not repeating anything after the first 0. So can I not write it like this? 0 followed by 0 or 1 star. Okay. So this gives me that it must start with a 0. After that it can be any number of zeros or ones. So the regular expression for all strings starting with 0 is this. Same way we can write for strings starting with 1. Strings starting with 1. Alright, I can write this as 1 followed by either 0 or 1. With the star I mean 0 or more times. So this would give me the set 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 also is already there, so not this one. So it can go on like this. So this is starting with 1. Similarly, I can say ending with 1. Ending with 1. Okay. So 0 or 1. In the beginning, I can have any number of zeros or 1, but it must end with a 1. So which are my strings? This is my string 1. Okay. Then 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Okay. Everywhere you see it must, the last digit must be a 1. So the regular expression for this is here. Then suppose I say the next, let's say we have seen starting with 0, ending with 0 or 1. Okay. Let us look at, it must have at least one 1. Okay, let's say, or let me write it like this, at least one or 1, the digit 1 or the symbol 1 at least one time. Okay, so at least one time means I have to have 1. Okay, now I can have anything before it, I can have anything after it. And what is anything? Anything here is either a 0 or a 1. Okay, either a 0 or a 1 after it. So this is your at least 1, 1. If I say at least 2 ones, at least 2 ones, so I should have a 1, I should have a 1, 2 ones I should have. Other than that, I may have 0 or 1. Okay, again here also I can have 0 or 1. Oh, sorry, 0 or 1. Okay, so as you can see, this is the one I should have. Okay, these 2 ones I should always have. Other than that, I can have zeros or ones. So this is at least 2 ones. Okay, so now let us look at this example. We want to have a regular expression which has at most 2 ones. Okay, so that's quite different from the previous one, which at least. So there it has to have minimum 2 ones. Here it can have a maximum of 2 ones. So the number of ones that can be there is 0, 1 or 2. So can I write it like this? It may have so my other symbol is 0. So I may have a string which starts with 0 or does not start with 0. So I have a star here. Then I may have either epsilon or 1. Okay, so here I may have a first one. Now why I put an epsilon or 1 is because I may have a 1, I may not have a 1. So that's why I may have epsilon, that is the empty string, or I may have a 1. This can be followed by any number of zeros. There is no restriction on zeros. This can be followed by again epsilon or 1. Okay, again, why? I can either choose to take epsilon or I may choose to take a 1. And again, this may be followed by any number of zeros. So if you see, let's use a different color and check how this will work. So suppose I say this is here, I have 0 or more zeros. So suppose I pick 1 0 out here. Okay, then from here, from the second part, I decide to go with epsilon. That means I don't have a 1, I don't have a 1, I have epsilon, so I don't have anything out here. Then I go to the next, that is 0 star. So again I say I will give 2 zeros here. Okay, and then I reach to the second epsilon or 1. So there I pick the 1. Okay, and then here this is 0 or 0 or more times 0. So I don't pick anything. So this is a string. It contains a single 1. So this is valid. Let us take another example. So now from here I pick 3 zeros. I can choose 3 zeros here. From here I pick 1. Instead of epsilon or 1, I pick only 1. And here there is no repetition. Note that there is no repetition here. There is no repetition here. So I can select only 1 out of these 2. Then I have 0 0 0. So I put say 0 0. Then here from this one again I pick a 1. Okay, and from this one I pick 4 zeros. So in this whole thing I can have 2 ones. Alright, and the third is here. So from here I pick 0. From here I pick epsilon, so nothing. From here again I pick 2 zeros. Okay, then from here Again I pick epsilon. Okay, so nothing will come here, and from here I pick 1 0. So if you see, this string has got 0 number of ones, this has got 1 1, and this has got 2 ones. I cannot have any other string, you can try out, I cannot have any other string having more than 2 ones. Alright, now can you tell me whether epsilon will appear in this string or not? Is in this set of regular expression, in this set generated by the regular expression, is the empty string an element? Okay, let us go to the next example, one last example here. Let's say strings whose length is divisible by 2. Okay, strings with length divisible by 2. So how do we write this? Again, our symbol is 0 and 1. So what are the lengths which are divisible by 2? Obviously 0, string of length 0. Then I have string of length 2, then string of length 4, then 6, and goes on like this. Okay, so for the first symbol I may have a 0 or a 1. For the second symbol I may have a 0 or a 1. This gives me what? It gives me a string of length 2. Why 2? This is the first symbol. I may pick either a 0 or a 1. And here I may pick the second element, character of the string, which is again either a 0 or a 1. So this gives me of size 2. Of size 4, what will I have? 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1. Okay. For length 6, again just repeat this. You can see, you can try to find a pattern out here. 0 or 1. So you can see that this part 2, this set of 2 is being repeated here 2 times. Here it is repeated once. Here this is repeated 1, 2, 3 times. And if it is not repeated at all, I get a string of, that is epsilon, that is a string of length 0. Okay, so can I write it as 0 or 1, 0 or 1, this whole thing star? So if this is repeated 0 times, you get epsilon. If this is repeated 1 time, if this is repeated 1 time, then you get this. If this is repeated 2 times, then you get this. If this is repeated 3 times, you get this. And if it is repeated 4 times, you get a string of length 8, and so on. So what we have, our output or our result is this. This gives me a string of zeros and ones whose length is divisible by 2. And before we end, so for the last example, let us take one example where we are going to write the regular expression for strings starting and ending with the same symbols. Starting and ending with same symbols. So if it starts with 0, it must end with 0. If it starts with 1, it must end with 1. So we can see that for the first one, I can write the regular expression like this: 0 followed by 0 or 1 followed by 0. And if it is 1, 1, 0 or 1 ending with 1. Now if we have to combine these two, now I want that starting and ending with the same symbol. So it may be either this or it may be this. So I can write it as 0, 0 or 1 star followed by 0, or it can be starting with 1, 0 or 1, ending with 1. Now this definition can be extended a little bit to include strings of length less than 2. That means it may be of length 0, So if length 0, then the regular expression is epsilon, empty string. If length is 1, then it contains only one symbol. So one symbol can be either a 1 or a 0. Okay. So we can combine these three. These three we can combine it with our regular expression here to get a regular expression something like this. So either it will be epsilon, or it will be a 0, or it will be a 1, or it will be this. So 0, 0 or 1, ending with 0, 1, 0 or 1, ending with a 1. So this is our regular expression for strings starting and ending with the same symbol.